Okay, so salute to everyone out there. Hopefully, you started your week off right. Now, this Aretha Franklin funeral has created a national discussion, as it should have. And now that puts the spotlights on these pastors. And I shake my head at anyone defending this pastor's actions. You had one brother in the comment section saying, well, they're both grown. They're in church. They're in church. The pastor, because he's over everyone, he's the leader. He's supposed to be setting a example. The fact that he groped her showed that it's a regular. This is a regular thing that he does that he probably didn't even notice it because it's like second nature, as one of my loyal subscribers said. It's second nature. He didn't even know what he was doing. He said, you know what? I seen this hot Italian. I seen this little hot young tenderoni, and I just couldn't help myself. My wife's sitting in the crowd. I would disrespect her like that. So, very, very interesting, and this was a complete embarrassment. This was embarrassing. You get a chance to showcase what you got, and this is what you do. So without any further ado, let's get into it.
Here we go. Number 10, you're still looking for Prince Charming. Okay, I know this one is going to be hard to hear, ladies, because you've been told this your entire life. Prince Charming ain't real. He's a fucking Disney character. That expectation of a man is totally unrealistic, because all it implies is that there is a such thing as a perfect man, and there isn't. Standards are a good thing, but getting stuck in the trap of waiting for the perfect guy will leave you waiting for the perfect guy. Real talk. Number 9, you bring nothing to the table. Alright, this one's gonna hurt a little bit. Men want women to want them. They don't want women to need them. A part of us loves providing for our loved ones and family, but you ain't family. Not yet. And in order for you to get there, you've got to bring more than just looks. You've got to show traits of value, whether that be loyalty, kindness, support, financial independence. Men are still primal, man. We're conquerors. And once we've conquered something, we only hold on to it as long as it's useful to us. You've got to be valuable in his eyes for more than just one night. So keep your game together. Number 8, you are annoying. Women, a lot of you love to nag, man. You can't help it. It's been instilled in you since a kid, when instead of fighting to get what you wanted like some boys did, you were allowed to cry and whine and nag to get what you wanted. And it worked because you were adorable. And it's possibly the biggest reason why men hate you today. No man wants to be nagged. It's amazingly annoying and counterproductive. Because the ironic part is, half the time the thing that you nag your man about, he would actually do quicker if you didn't. So don't nag. Just ask. Number 7, you're looking at the wrong men. Contrary to what your favorite magazine or BET melodrama would tell you, all men are not the same. We're not all dogs, we're not all liars, and we're not all cheaters. And that belief is poison in finding a real man. Because real talk, deep down, you may just be attracted to that type of man. Some men really are dogs. And even though that trait you might hate specifically, maybe that type you're looking for is coincidentally linked to that trait. I mean, good luck finding a thug or a ladies' man or a baller who's also loyal and doesn't have a temper, is not selfish, and is not a liar. He may very well be out there, but they're so few and far between that you've got to change up your habits and be open to dating a different type of guy to get a different type of result. Number 6, you stop caring. Alright, picture this. You buy a Ferrari. It's decked out from top to bottom. Cherry red, nice wheels, fast, sleek, drives like a dream. You're in love. Then a few months later, owning it, the rims pop out, the frame gets all bent out of shape, the performance starts to suck, and now you're driving around an expensive ass hoopty. The excitement is totally gone. What would you do? You drop that piece of crap car as soon as you can and get a brand new sexy ride, right? Well, you know where I'm going with this. Never stop being your man's sexy ride. A good man would even consider upgrading eventually. Trust me. Alright, I'm gonna stop there for this week. But I think I gave you enough to process for right now. But be sure to check in on Monday for the final top 5 reasons why you can't keep a man. I hope
I do not believe these females are in a relationship. And if they are, whether it's boyfriend or married, what type of relationship are you in that your man will allow you to take pictures like this? Or unless she's dealing with a beta male. And there are a lot of men that are allowing their women to behave in such a way. So this isn't too far off. But can you keep him? Are you clean? Can you cook? How is your character? And see, you have a lot of women that is on television, social media, and they're complaining about how they're too good looking to get a date. It's like, I'm too stunning for guys to approach me. And it's not that. What you are experiencing is a lot of men that are starting to critically think, right? We understand that these women who take these pictures are not to be taken seriously. See, this is common sense. It's like, okay, well, I know I can't wife that sexually. Yeah, I mean, if you want to, if you're that type of guy and you say, yeah, then you'll just do that. She may take it personal and think it is really something when it isn't. He's just like, listen, I can't date a Instagram model. Then you have basketball players who date these women, use them and kick them to the curb. Now, a lot of these women have dated, rich men, but that's it. They're for show. It's like, prostitute. You know, these guys pay for sex. They don't take them seriously. Now, if you pull a Kanye and you wife one up, you might end up like Kanye, right? You're not supposed to wife up whores. And men are starting to learn the hard way, and especially in California. Especially in California, where the judicial system is raping the men, stripping the men of everything and giving it to the woman, which automatically make her the head of the community. By law, he is able to do that. So you have a growing number of men of all cultures, ethnicities, backgrounds that are critically thinking about women like, okay, yeah, it looks nice, but is it worth the trouble? Is the juice worth the squeeze? And a lot of brothers, especially black men, you do have black men critically thinking, like myself, like other millennial brothers on the platform. Salute to all the millennials, brothers that's holding it down. Right? And they are showing brothers what to look out for. Everything that glitter ain't gold. And brothers are really getting caught up with these type of women because they look good, not, taking into consideration the consequences, even getting in trouble. You got brothers that went to jail behind women that look like this. Right? You got brothers you got some simp doing life over a female, You in jail for life over her and she out getting bent over by the next guy. How does that work? And so you see these women and, they take care of themselves and they keep themselves healthy and, they are in the runnings. They are considered competition, stiff competition. These women know how to take pictures. These people know how to draw your attention. They get thousands of views, thousands of likes. People listen to what they have to say, even though they're not saying anything. Right? And we are in a look-driven society. You have to look a certain way in a lot of different places. And it's not necessarily skin color. And because competition is stiff with women, they do everything to stand out. And now it's body type. They're saying, listen, big butt, big thighs are in. I'm rolling with that right now. Women of a lot of ethnicities is going with that look. We even have butt implants, people dying, women dying, excuse me. Look at what happened with K Michelle, how she almost lost her life. Almost lost her life. Health problems, all trying to attract a man. And men aren't attracted to that. It's like, man, you damn near killed yourself for some DICK. You literally put your life on the line, boo boo, for some sex. And you have a lot of women that behave that way, and guys don't respect that. Can you cook? A lot of brothers like macaroni and cheese, baked from scratch. Can you cook? Are you clean? Do you smile? Right? These are characteristics, guys look at in women. Can you hold a conversation? Can you take responsibility? Were you raised in a two-parent home? That's when he begins to take you serious. But you out here popping your butt and you think you're gonna get some type of respect, and you can't tell the difference between someone who actually likes you and someone who just want to bone you. So you take this stuff for what it is, and it's not what you think. And now you seeing like, wow, I'm pretty and I'm single. Wow, I have this big fat butt, perky breasts, and I am single. You act like because you look good you can't be single. Like it's kind of like you feel like you're exempt from trials and tribulations because you look a certain way. Like, wow, I'm beautiful. Unbelievable that I am single. Like, yeah, there are a lot of women that have great attitudes, may not look as decent, but they have great attitudes, and guys are picking them up ahead of you. They're like, listen, yeah, you may look good, but I don't want the headache. Right? If I want a twerker, every day I'll get one. And then we're in the day and age of social media where you're seeing men get got all day, every day over women, whether they're being set up, whether they're being killed, whether they're fighting over them, trying to impress them. And then you take a look at her DMs, and you got brothers in those DMs acting the fool. What's that word they used to say back in the day, cutting the rug? Them brothers in her DMs cutting the rug. And so they're like, wow, I have all these men that are trying to talk to me, but why I can't get a boyfriend? That's what's really, they have options, but they like, why can't he just, and it's driving them crazy. Why? Because they think they're so beautiful, they should have someone. And there's nothing wrong with confidence, right? But because you guys are so shallow and you don't critically think, is everything is your butt, guys are not, you're a liability. You know, you're a liability. And so guys are starting to think, they're like, listen, I'm going to start keeping my money in my pocket and my freedom. These women will get you in trouble. Right? But then you got the thirsty simp. He doesn't care. He's like, hey, I go to jail. That's my black queen. They allow these women to run all over them, disrespect them, right? And he won't say anything because he think he not gonna get none. He like, man, I cannot check her. I am not going to get none. She said that pastor at Aretha Franklin funeral didn't do nothing wrong. He didn't do nothing wrong. Shit, if anybody would know, she would know. Right? And then they don't respect those type of dudes. They're like, he's a pushover. He's a yes, sir. And then the moment you disagree with her, that's when she turn on you. Happens all the time. You see it here on YouTube. So you have a lot of very attractive women that are single, right? And you have a lot of these women who live in, the countrysides, and there's nothing to do, and they just stay in the house and they snap pictures. Right? Or you have these women that are living in the ghetto. A lot of these models come out of ghettos, right? And they just go to college and come home and then just snap pictures. And they, put them on Instagram and they become Instagram popular, right? And then you get frustrated because that success you found on the internet, you're now finding it in your real life, right? So it begins to mess with your brain. Say, hey, I'm popping in the virtual world, but I'm not popping in the real world. And that's just because people are visual people, and social media has messed up the way we interacted with people, right? So in person, you can see an attractive person and you can walk right past them and say, I'm not, because you see them all day. You see them on social media. Social media has made it to where you see attractive, men see attractive women all day through ads, through social media, YouTube, commercials. You see them all day. So when you see them in person, it's like, oh, okay. I, truly believe social media has screwed up the way we interact with each other in person. Everyone is looking with their heads down. And so everything has changed, right? So just because you're pretty doesn't mean you're going to get a date or you're going to be approached. There is like 3 women to every guy. So guys, have a variety to choose from. And the thirsty men, they're on the sidelines with their tongue hanging out. And I want to tell brothers something. It's nothing wrong with admiring a woman's beauty, but when you are thirsty doing it, and when you are a pastor doing it, have some respect. You understand what I'm saying? Understand your value. You're the prize. You know, allow them to come to you. Why do you always got to run to them and say, hey, do I look all right for you? Do I need to put on a cap or a jacket? Why do you have men bowing down on their knees to women now? This is the reason why they feel like they're in control, because you guys will say, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, there's a huge simp brigade out here. Always simping, right? And so these women set up thirst traps and you guys fall in it time after time. And I'm starting to believe a lot of you brothers and men fall in it on purpose. Right? And women aren't going to change until men change. When men don't understand that they set the dress code. So if she's twerking and you're not spending money and paying her any attention, she's going to stop twerking. Right? If you are promoting women in the library that are good looking, and even if you wanted to put them in maybe whatever, right? And they're in the library and make that appealing, then yeah. You get what I'm saying? But you guys take the most nastiest women and then you hold them up to the light. Just like this Chili from TLC, how she is a 47-year-old woman who has been ran through, and you have a group of women who is actually going to take her advice. Even if you did agree with her, I would say, listen, I mean, what she says has a lot of truth to it, but she's not the one to be saying it. And because women don't have any standards, the men aren't taking you seriously. The guys that's looking for marriage, they're looking for respectable women because that's a investment. So if you're a butt model, he's only going to pay you, to take you out, or, a movie, or I mean, whatever. Right? He's not going to take you serious. But, if you have traits about you, and he's going to say, okay, well, this is a good investment, because nowadays, guys, men are being taken to the cleaners behind these women. And so now men are starting to get wiser and sharpen up their game so they don't get caught slipping, period. And so now you have a lot of women who are not getting the type of men they want. And they're seeing average women with men, and it's killing them. They're like, what the hell? She has nothing on me. Yes, she does. She has a character. She can cook and clean. She is clean. I can bring her around my family. She's caring. She cares for others. She's aware of current events. She doesn't get her self-esteem from televisions, movies, sitcoms, commercials. That's a investment. And quite simply, the majority of the women out there aren't a good investment by any stretch of the imagination. Not at all. They're not a good investment because the majority of the women out there are liberal. They're witches. You know, not all, but plenty. Conniving, thieves, bloodsuckers, ready to take you to the cleaners. Talk about black on black crime. That needs to be put in the same category as black on black crime, child support. Right? So yeah, you may look good, but you just gonna get the dude that just want to sleep with you. Guys are like, listen, man, I'm not gonna get a return on this. I'm not. And then she don't know anything. You know, you sit her down, you talk to her. She can't hold a conversation. It's like, nah, like, okay, I'll sleep with her. And you are running up on a lot of women with, psychological problems also. You have women who have a lot of psychological problems from childhood, from a lot of things from their mother, from their grandmother. It's not always the male in the family. Could be her sister. Right? And that depends on what type of woman you're going to be also. And guys, look into that. And you guys don't understand that. And because you guys put all of your energy in the way you look and not what's inside, and that's what you haven't figured out yet. Right? Everything, you guys have been caught up on social media, how you look, who's in your inbox, numbers. It's not about that anymore. It's about results. Meaning, if you're getting numbers on social media, but you're not getting numbers in the real world, you're not getting results. Not getting results, right? And so these women are not getting results. And men, we're in the driver's seat and just don't know it. Just don't know it. You have a lot of these beta males who have given the keys to the women to the point where you have a woman who worked for Tinder do a experiment on men, and men stand up there and participate in the experiment. You talk about the American society going down the drain, right? And so now, because society is so dysfunctional, people aren't even compatible. They're not compatible. Not at all. So you have a bunch of good looking people that can't find mates. You have a bunch of women who don't have any traits. They can't cook, they aren't clean, they can't sew, they can't rub your back and make biscuits from scratch. They don't know how to speak. Hi, care for others, read, mind their business. Don't allow society to tell you that you're beautiful. You dictate that. You determine that. That's why it's called self-esteem. You get it from yourself. I'm out. Peace.